Tortoise and Hare, a fairy tale to help you find balance by Susan Verde, pictures by J. Fleck. Once upon a time there were two neighbors, Hare and Tortoise. Although they lived side by side, they each did things very differently. Hare did everything quickly. There was so much to do every day, Hare liked to get it all done and fast. Each morning she made her bed in a jiffy, although sometimes it looked like there was someone still sleeping there. She got dressed and ready for her busy day in no time at all, although sometimes she missed a button or two. She planted her garden in a flash, although sometimes she couldn't remember where she planted her tomatoes. She ate her meals with gusto, although sometimes she got a tummy ache. She was even a speed reader, although sometimes she couldn't remember what her books were about. Hare was always so busy that she didn't pay attention to the things around her. She didn't even stop to say hello to those she passed by, in too much of a hurry to notice a wave or hear the latest gossip. Some might say she was too fast. Now Tortoise did everything slowly and carefully. There was so much to do, and Tortoise liked to take his sweet time with it all. Each morning he meticulously made his bed, folding the sheets and tucking the corners, although sometimes it looked like no one had ever slept all snugly in bed. He got dressed with care, considering colors, textures, and of course the weather, although sometimes he wasn't out of his pajamas until way past morning. He planted his garden carefully, making sure each seed was in its proper place, although sometimes he missed tomato season altogether. He ate his meals in tiny bites, savoring each morsel, although sometimes it was dinner time before he had even finished lunch. He read his books very leisurely, pondering every word, although sometimes he didn't get to the end of the story. Tortoise made sure to say hello to everyone he passed by, offering a cup of tea and asking them all kinds of questions. Some might say he was too slow. One day Tortoise was sitting in his yard, looking up at the sky and watching the clouds make funny shapes. Hare, in the meantime, had a to-do list. She was rushing around and getting things done and furiously checking them off. Done, done. To-do list, mow lawn, water garden, trim bushes, done. Out of the corner of her eye, Hare noticed Tortoise was barely moving. This irritated her quite a bit. "Tortoise, don't you have anything to do? Why are you wasting the day just sitting there? Look at what I've already done." "Yes, Hare," Tortoise said slowly. "There are some things I need to do, but right now I'm enjoying my tea and looking at the lovely sky. Why don't you join me?" Hare said, "There's no time for that." She kept on moving. By nightfall Tortoise was still outside, but now he was looking at the stars. "Tortoise, you are so slow. How can you just sit there all day long? I bet you can't move fast for anything." "Well, Hare," Tortoise said slowly, "I think you are wrong. I'm certain I could move faster if I wanted to. In fact, why don't we have a race? From here to town. I bet I can beat you, no problem." Hare laughed as though she had never heard anything funnier. "You're on. The day after tomorrow we'll race from here to town. You'll see how fast I am and how slow you are." Hare spent the whole next day running around her yard, doing jumping jacks and getting ready to show off her incredible speed. Tortoise spent the day sipping tea and putting on his special track suit. Meanwhile, word had spread of the race. The townspeople were buzzing with excitement. Some said that Hare was too fast. She will surely beat slow Tortoise. But some said if Tortoise challenged Hare, he must have a trick up his sleeve. The day of the race arrived. Tortoise and Hare stood at the starting line. Ready, set, go! Hare was off in a flash. Tortoise began creeping slowly forward. At the halfway mark, Hare knew she was way ahead, so she decided to take a quick nap, certain she would wake up before Tortoise even got close. Indeed, Tortoise was way behind, moving very slowly. There was so much to see. He stopped along the way to smell the flowers. He investigated every noise and paid close attention to the feeling of the road under his feet. He made sure to take time to say hello to everyone he passed along the way until they politely reminded him that he was in a race. Meanwhile, Hare's quick nap turned into a deep sleep. When the chill of her own loud snore finally woke her, it was dark out. Well, she thought, I'm sure I still have time to win the race. That Tortoise is so slow he's probably stopped somewhere to count the pebbles in the road. She was just about to take off again when she heard a voice next to her. "Hello, Hare." It was Tortoise. Hare was in shock. "Tortoise, what are you doing here? How long have you been here?" "Just a while. I'm going to keep moving to show you how fast I can be. But you look so peaceful, and the moon is beautiful, shining so brightly that I just had to stop. Look at those stars." Hare looked up. The beauty of the night sky, the cool air, and Tortoise by her side made her stay very still. It was something she hadn't done in a long, long time. And in that moment, staring up at the sparkling, magnificent stars, Hare realized that maybe it wasn't so important to be fast all the time. Maybe there was time when it was good to slow down. So together, Tortoise and Hare stayed right together in that spot, making wishes on the stars and talking about their dreams, until at last the sun was coming up. "Tortoise," Hare said, "we need to finish this race. How would you like to go fast?" "I'd like that very much," said Tortoise. With that, Hare put Tortoise on her back and they sped towards the finish line. And in that moment she felt the warmth of the wind on her face and the exhilarating beat of his heart. Tortoise realized that maybe it wasn't so important to be slow all the time. Maybe there was times when it was good to be fast. Tortoise and Hare joyfully crossed the finish line together. From then on, whenever Tortoise needed a little speed in picking out his outfits, planting his tomatoes, or even finishing a good book, Hare was there to help. And when Hare needed to slow things down while making her bed, buttoning her buttons, or savoring a cup of tea while watching the clouds float by, Tortoise was there to help. Because sometimes it's good to be fast, and sometimes it's good to be slow, but mostly it's good to have a friend to help you find balance. The end.